up, y'all? This is Zircon signing back into 6 days of snow. Wow, this has been a long series. Even though some of the videos were actually like very short, this one I don't know how long it's gonna be. And the last two were like 20 minutes. This one I don't know if I'm gonna do 10 minutes. I don't know if I'm gonna do 20. But I really want to start I actually want to go ahead because of this kind of scenario. What's happening? Especially from the last episode, what happened, because she's revealed that she's trying to seduce us, just so we can take her, because she feels she's gonna be stuck there forever. And that makes me very, very, very uncomfortable. So I don't know how long I'm gonna do this episode. It's either gonna be like 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, I don't know. But we're gonna find out. We're gonna try and finish this, and we're gonna get on. But in the last episode, turns out that we ended up, by the sounds of it, we said yes, because it was the please that did it, I think. How could I turn her down when she said please? Yeah, this is gonna get very uncomfortable, and I mean very, very uncomfortable. Why you do that? Why you do that? Stupid eyes. Stupid eyelashes is more like it. Stupid eyelashes. But, so, she didn't love me. That much had been established. In fact, I think she might have looked down on me. How did I feel, though? What did I think about this contradictory, silly, desperate, charming, and funny, and oh so lonely little girl who had more womanly wiles than perhaps she realized? Yeah. Oh boy. I don't know, but I do know whatever it was I felt for her, be it compassion, affection, or just plain pity, encouraged me to bridge the gap between us and pull her unresisting body into my arms. Please don't let this get very graphic. Because I really don't want to have to put in more work to censor anything. Reiko gasped at the close contact, which had been entirely unexpected. For a few moments, I worried whether I had moved too quickly or else misread the signals. Had I startled her? And yet, after a small pause, Reiko's body relaxed and rested her head against my shoulders. I held her all the closer for it, winding my arms around her waist and placing my hands against the small of her back. What? Oh dear, her hair tickled my cheeks. It was so soft and smooth, and strangely enough, smelt of persimmons. Is that kind of perfume? I don't know. But anyways, she was so tiny I was half afraid I would break her, or mark her, or bruise her. Oh dear. It seemed with every moment she spent in my arms, she was decreasing in value somehow. She was becoming dirty and tainted, like snow that had been trodden on. Edgy. Oh dear. That is so uncomfortable. This is so uncomfortable. I will pull through this. Have no fear. Reiko cried all the harder at my unbridled display of affection. I could feel her tears soaking against my shoulder. I'm sorry, she said. I'm going to ruin your clothes. That's what you're worried about right now? That's what she's worried about? Oh, Baga. Oh, Baga! I don't care. Cry as much as you want. That's what I'm here for. Just for tonight, I don't want you to cry again. Reiko giggled softly at and shook her head, and the tears are just magically gone. Oh boy, but you can say pretty things when you want, she said. If you say things like that, I really might fall in love with you. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh bugaboo. Oh bugaboo. As long as this is the only scene that happens during this entire endeavor, that's fine. But if there's anything provocative in any of these freaking sentences, I will be very upset. And I'll be censoring a lot of that. Okay, Rickle's limbs were ghostly pale in the gathering moon. They were so white they almost seemed to glow. She looked like the snow. Hey, that rhymed. Or to be more precise, she looked like the snow when the early morning sun shines upon it, so it sparkles with a heavenly light. This is starting to sound like rhymes. She was beautiful, immaculate, unspoiled. Spoiled. Thank you very much. But I had spoiled her only a few minutes ago. It had been her first time. I hoped it hadn't been too painful for her. I tried to be as gentle as I could, but Reiko had been afraid, and fear was a way of tensing the muscles so everything becomes much more difficult. Reiko's eyes were big, like a startled deer's, and she had bitten down on her lower lip throughout the whole ordeal in an attempt not to moan. She had largely succeeded, too. She had been mostly silent during our prolonged session of supposed lovemaking. If Reiko had managed to moan, I doubt it would have been in pleasure, for she hadn't looked like she was enjoying herself. Okay. That's usually not a good sign. When one person's enjoying themselves, well, actually, I'm gonna have to say, I don't think any one of them was actually enjoying it, because they kind of forced each other to do it, sort of. I guess. I don't know. This is all weird. This is very, very weird. I don't know why I'm doing this. I had hurt her. I hurt her, but when I recoiled, asking if she wanted me to stop, she shook her head, still biting her lower lip, her hair spilling across the pillow. The motion was almost desperate. As selfish as I have ever seen her over the last 6 days, though she had remained silent, Reiko's startled eyes communicated what she meant more clearly than words could. Don't. If you do, I won't be able to go through with it. Okay. I wanted to tell Reiko that it didn't have to be like this. Sex wasn't something to be endured, but something couples often did, surprisingly enough, for fun, because they loved one another. For fun, you say. Well, I wouldn't know. I wouldn't, I'm sorry, yeah, I'm saying it right now. I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know. Sex wasn't something to be endured, yep. But Reiko didn't love me. She had already told me as much. She had already given me her body. It would have been unfair of me to demand she give me her love, too. Following our copulation, I couldn't call it making love. Reiko lay by my side, and curled up on herself like a grain of rice. The covers pulled over her tiny body, exposing her matchstick arms and legs, concave stomach. Are you really leaving tomorrow, Edgy? She asked me, her voice barely audible above the snow outside. Of course it was snowing. It always snowed in the mountains of Hakuba, particularly during the nights. I have to leave tomorrow, I whispered, my voice going. I have my train tickets, and Sachiko will be missing me. Your wife? That's awkward. I nodded, but didn't say anything more. There was nothing left to say. Reiko knew I had a wife. She had known from the beginning because I hadn't kept it from her. I'd see no reason to keep Sachiko's existence a secret because I had no intentions of tricking Reiko in any kind of relationship, illicit or otherwise. That being the case, how did this happen? Despite my best attempts to rebuff her, Reiko had warmed her way into my heart. I thought I was too old to fall for the charms of a pretty young girl, no matter how wide her eyes or long her lashes. She was more than 20 years my junior, and I already had Sachiko. I know it's a standard cliche that men like pretty young girls, and enough tragic love stories have been written on the subject matter, but I thought myself better than that. Evidently, I had overestimated myself. Edgy? Reiko sighed. I'm not doing that. Reiko sighed softly. Her breath was sweet and it tickled my skin. I was thinking about trying it, but I was like, no, that's awkward. Though she was lying close to me, she didn't wrap her arms around me. Neither did she entwine her legs with mine. Instead, she kept her distance. She was cautious, like a baby animal. It seemed odd to maintain distance now after we've been so close, but the moment was gone. All the while, the snow continued to fall, settling in the drifts on the dead, scrubby grass outside. Reiko, I responded to her and glancing at the top of her head. I know you have to go back, and I know you had to see your wife, but... Reiko's words riddled the pauses. She stopped, seeming to lose her nerve before she started once more. Say what you want about Reiko, but I have always thought she was incredible. I think I admired her, just a little. She was so very determined. Would it perhaps be alright if I imagined only for a little while that you didn't have to leave so soon, and we could stay together a few days more? I'm gonna have to say absolutely not. 'Cause I don't want to be part of that! Reiko's eyes flickered in the dark like candles. Her eyes were beautiful, just like the rest of her. They were amber brown, like liquid resin, and looked even browner in the dim light. How uncomfortable can this game make me feel? Ah! You can pretend all you want if it makes you feel better. No! 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 No. I told her like some kind of monarch distributed van. I winced after I spoke, and I hated myself for it. My heart felt too heavy for my rib cage, and my chest ached. I wanted to give her so much more, but there were no words, ironic for a writer, and nothing seemed good enough. Yeah, that is kind of ironic. Reiko had suffered too much in her life. It was foolish of me to imagine our meeting might have changed anything. Our relationship had changed precisely nothing, except adding to Reiko's loneliness. That's another reason why we shouldn't have done this. What are you thinking, girl? What are you thinking? This is... Then again, what was another drop in the ocean? That's kind of rude. You know what I've been pretending? Reiko said softly. So softly. What? I asked. I have been pretending that when you leave, I'll accompany you to the train station. It'll be snowing, of course. Well, yeah, where are we right now? Of course. The two of us shared a smile at this, the last smile we would ever exchange, and Reiko even laughed. Her laughter sounded rather lonely in the still and quiet of the snow night. Well, she continued, it'll be snowing and the platform will be white, and the train tracks too. It'll look so pretty, like something from a fairy tale. It'll be like the mountains are pure and undisturbed, and mankind never laid those ugly steel tracks to begin with. I chimed in. Oh, you chimed in that one. Oh, you're just gonna keep adding on to the imaginations. You need to come to the hard truth, girl, that you're never gonna see me again after this one. Or so I hope so. I hope so. That's right. The tracks will be gone, and I'll let myself believe for a moment, just for a moment, that we've been cut off from the rest of humanity, and you won't be able to leave, that you'll stay here with me. Reiko frowned, her brow furrowed. But then the train arrives, because that's how life is, and nothing can last forever. I now have a good question. Did you use protection? Yeah. I just thought of that now. Okay, not even in the fantasies. I think I'm too practical. Then it seems like quite a sad fantasy. Oh, it isn't so sad. You'll leave Hakuba and you'll go back to your wife, who's very happy to see you, of course, while Reiko paused. Her eyes were dark with shadows and unspoken worries. I tried to fill in the gaps as best I could. What did Reiko have? She had the snow that surrounded her, which way you looked, every which way. And she had this inn in the middle of the mountains, with creaking floors and rattling windows. She had an irate mother who scolded her for every minor misdemeanor while suffocating her with unwanted affection. That was Reiko's life, and she had no means of escape. She had no hopes of a better or brighter tomorrow. There would be no happily ever after. Oh, that's sad. I think I would like to... Excuse me! What? 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 No! You are not gonna do that, young lady! No! She said it simply, as though it were the most natural thing in the world, as B comes after A in the English alphabet, and winter becomes spring. Kakuji Reiko would kill herself when I left. I've had enough of suicide games! Okay. But though I had enough of them, why do I keep playing them? I don't like this one bit. Reiko, anxiety seized up my throat. I couldn't talk. I felt like my vocal cords had frozen. Wasn't it embarrassing that I, a grown man, was letting the fantasies of a young girl work me up in such a state? It better be just a fantasy. Desmond, why are you even thinking that? But why? Well, why was I? But that's why I've always wanted to be a writer, I suppose. I've always been far too passionate, and the suicide of a pretty young girl over a subject as tried and tested as failed romance could fail to move even the hardest of hearts. What? Don't worry, Edgy, said Reiko with a smile. I won't really kill myself. This is just an imaging. This is just an imaging. Imagining. Okay, that was weird to say. I'm play pretending. Gib! I don't even know why you have those thoughts. Stop it! Take them out of your head right now. I don't like it. Forgive me, but I've always thought playing denoted a certain kind of childish happiness. It's supposed to be a tragic play, said Reiko, her eyes boring into mine. I wouldn't know it because I've never seen a play, but aren't tragedies popular? I suppose so. I mean, I'm playing this one. Well, this really isn't a tragedy. I don't know. Okay, I'm talking out of my ass right now. The love suicides at Sanzaki is rather popular. So popular, in fact, the government banned performances of the play in the early 1700s after several couples tried emulating the unfortunate ends of Tokubai and Ohatsu with varying degrees of success. Okay, this went from uncomfortability that I don't like to extreme uncomfortability I don't like. Monzaemon, in addition to being a master of his craft, managed quite unwittingly, I'm sure, to usher in an epidemic of tragic twin suicides. Twin suicides? What? I'll have to read that up. I don't understand that. If only my stories were that popular. Well, if the characters in famous plays can commit suicide, I don't see why I can. Red said Reiko, someone favors. Doesn't it sound romantic? It does not sound romantic, period. It sounds stupid. Don't expect me to join you. I have a wife and family to provide for. Like I said, I'm not being serious. I just like the idea. Why do you even like... Ah! So uncomfortable. What is with this girl? I don't know. Oh, dear Lord. It seems very dramatic and very final. Oh, yeah, it does. And yeah, I don't know if the thought had crossed my mind before, but Reiko could be quite frightening when she wanted. Oh, yeah, well, she was her mother's daughter. Just in a twisted way. I see where you're coming from, I said. My throat still choked. In fact, I think I can relate. What? Wait. Edgy! Edgy Tanabe, what is your problem? You're agreeing with this girl? You can? When I was younger, there was a girl I liked. Her name was Miki. I liked her such a great deal, I threatened to kill myself if she didn't go out with me. She refused, as well she might, and, well, I shook my head. As you can see, I didn't go through with it. I'm glad you didn't, said Rico, but wasn't she afraid that you might? Miki? Oh, she hardly knew me, and I hardly knew her either. Then why did you... Because I was childish and immature, and I suppose it sounded exciting. I never had any intention of actually doing it. I just thought she might be impressed. Fortunately, Miki was more sensible than I was, and saw through my bluff. Okay! Oh, Reiko's face fell, and I found myself feeling guilty all of a sudden. Do you think I'm being childish and immature? I think you're being chaotic. I paused, momentarily caught off guard. Rico was good at unsettling me. It must have been something about those big eyes of hers. Oh! Yeah, you go for the eyes, you say? I mean, okay, that's something I don't quite understand. The first similarities other people see in siblings that they go for, or it's probably not even the first thing they see. The first thing that they go for is the eyes. I don't even know why I said that. That doesn't even relate to what I just said. Okay, what I just said, no. What I said doesn't even relate to that. Oh boy, but about everything. Boy, why do people always go for the eyes? Figure speaking. I don't think you're immature, Reiko, I said, picking my words carefully. Words can be weapons, and I had heard her more than enough that evening. I would continue to hurt her tomorrow, and the day after, and the day after. Even when I was nothing more than a memory. Memories can have the sharpest bite of all, but you think I'm childish. She countered, yep, you are a child, Reiko. You might have been more mature than your mother imagines, but you're still a teenager. But you slept with me, she said innocently. I'm defiled now, so I can't be a child anymore. You don't have to have sex to be a child, be a adult. You just have to have the correct mindset for that. And here she is, talking about, hey, you defiled me, I'm an adult now. Hey, thinking about suicide. Am I a child still? Aha. But you weren't trying to prove a point, were you? No, it's like I said, I just don't want you to forget me. Why would I ever forget you? Now it's literally imprinted on my body. Or this guy's body. And like I said, I could never forget you, silly girl. Oh. Well, now it's assured, she said, in the same manner children might when talking about pinky promises. If I lie, may I eat 1,000 needles. That I have heard. Been a while since I've heard it, though. She was trying to sound mature, I think, and brave and strong, but the discrepancy between her words and her tone, which threatened fragment, was painful. I wanted to pull her to my chest and hold her tight and run my hands through her hair and tell her everything would be alright. Everything's gonna be alright. No, it's not. But that would have been a lie. Oh yeah, all of it, lies. It wouldn't be alright. Nothing's gonna be alright. Not for Reiko, whose only solace from the real world was fantasies about suicide. Like I said, I wouldn't really kill myself, Reiko repeated. I'm a coward. I'm scared it would hurt. And my mother would be so very, very angry with me. People would gossip, and she'd think it's some slight against her parenting. I bet she'd think I'd done it on purpose to hurt her. Yeah, let's not do that. That's because that will steamroll. I think your mother is a fool. You're more than the culmination of your mother's parenting techniques. You are your own person. Sometimes I wonder, said Reiko, frowning, but I guess suicide would be too much hassle. That's your argument? I don't think that would be the primary reason for not killing yourself. Oh? Isn't that reassuring enough for you, Eiji? No, it is not! Doesn't it make you feel better knowing I won't kill myself? Well, I suppose yeah, it does, but that's not enough! It's never enough. Like that song from The Greatest Showman. I'd rather not talk about you killing yourself at all. it wasn't how I imagined spending my last night in the Azami Inn. But then again, I hadn't imagined I would sleep with Reiko either. For a writer, my own imagination seems fairly lacking when compared with reality. But Reiko paused, her expressions contorted in her eyes. They were shining as though they contained shooting stars. The tears that gathered in the corners of her amber eyes were constellations, and they quivered shyly, anxious to make their debut. No doubt she was afraid of inconveniencing me. Even if I don't talk about it, Angie, I think I'll think about it, because thinking about it is the only thing that makes me happy. Okay, I think I'm done yelling about it. I'm not getting anywhere with it. Though her voice flattered and 1, 2, 3 of those crystalline tears were dislodged from their perch, she still didn't succumb to her despair. She didn't allow herself to cry properly, though I'm sure she wanted to, and she didn't cling either. She must have known there was no use. I would leave tomorrow, no matter how tightly she held in at the present, and Reiko wouldn't accompany me because that wasn't how the world worked. Reiko had work to do in the Azami Inn. There was always so much work to do. I, meanwhile, would go to the station with Yosuke. That would be the best. I wondered, come the following morning, while I sat on the train, I stuttered there, yes, train, and Reiko busied herself with manual labor, what she would think about. The whir of wheels against iron tracks. Her life, a dull, mundane thing, not worth much by most people's standards, flashing before her eyes. Then, nothing at all. I wanted to love her so badly it hurt, but I restrained myself. I had to. If I told her I loved her, that might have been the final straw. It was easy to threaten suicide if you wanted to manipulate somebody. It was, as Reiko had said, a very romantic thing to do. Befitting of a what? A femme fatal like Tanzaki's Noami. It's far harder to go through with it. But if Reiko knew unequivocally, without a doubt, that I really had grown to love her, killing herself after such a confession would have been very appealing, don't you think? It would have been like something from a novel. Like something from a novel I might write. And Reiko, for want of friends or family, enjoyed losing herself in side fantasies. That was why I didn't tell her. I couldn't. I loved her far too much. That's the end! Oh dear Lord! Wow. Wow! Beautiful story. Beautiful, beautiful story. It was just very, very, it was very uncomforting. If that was the main goal of this story, it did a perfect job. Because I was unbelievably uncomfortable. Oh. But yeah, there were a few typos in there. I wouldn't be able to go back and I wouldn't be able to actually go back and look at them unless I looked at all my videos again or read through it again. But I won't be doing that. No. Even though it had some typos and missed weird sentences and a lot of words that I had no clue what the heck they were saying. But this was pretty good. Not pretty good. This is pretty good. This is a great story. Very uncomforting, but a good story. Man, I hate talking about suicide. I hate it. That is a very touchy subject. But I will not. Oh, but anyways, that's all I have for today, guys. Okay, so thank you for watching, and if you like this video, press that like button, and as always, stay active and stay connected, guys. I'll see you on the next one. This is Rickon, signing out. Bye, y'all!